Hello, everybody. Welcome to Cory Turner Talks, a show where we go car shopping every single day. It's time for Name That Car. That's right. This is the segment where we're going to give you clues and we're going to test your car knowledge to see if you can name the car that we're highlighting today. Now, remember, this is a game. You earn points for the fewer clues you need to solve it. And so be sure and leave that in the comments. Let us know what your score was. Don't tell them what car it was. Don't put that in the comments. We don't want to ruin it for anybody, but be sure and put your score in the comments. All right, let's dive in and see if you can name that car. Here we go. Clue number 1. All right, for 10 points. I'm an American car model that initially ran from 1964 to 1974, and I tried a less effective reboot from 2004 to 2006. All right, so I initially ran from 1964 to 1974, and I tried a less effective reboot from 2004 to 2006. If you can name that car from this clue, that's 10 points, and that's amazing. Way to go. But if not, let's move on to clue number 2. Okay, for 7 points. The chief engineer on my project went on to build a car that he named after himself, and it went on to gain notoriety at Twin Pines Mall. Do you know this one? This one actually combines two of my favorite things, cars and movies. Might be a little bit of a clue there, at least to the Twin Pines Mall part of the clue. All right, if you're able to solve it there, 7 points, great job. But if not, let's move on to clue number 3. For 5 points, in the final years before my GM brand ceased to exist, they brought my name back on a rebadged Holden Monaro from Australia. All right, that's a pretty good clue right there. They brought the name back on a rebadged Holden from Australia. All right, if you solved it there, great job. That's 5 points. But if not, if you need another clue, let's move on to the next clue. All right, for 3 points. I am widely credited with kicking off the muscle car craze of the 1960s and 70s. All right, so we're definitely talking about an American muscle car, and this one is credited with kicking off the muscle car craze. All right, do you know it? If you did, congratulations. That's 3 points. Great job. If not, let's go on to your final clue. This is your final chance to name that car. For 1 point, if Pontiac had mixed up my 3-letter name and added an A, they could have called me GOAT, greatest of all time, right? So if Pontiac had mixed up my 3-letter name and added an A, they could have called me GOAT. All right, so we know it's a Pontiac, we know it's a muscle car, and we know it was credited with starting the muscle car craze. Do you know which one it is? All right, here it is. It, of course, is the Pontiac GTO. I completely agree. I think this was the car that started the muscle car craze. Came out in 1964. The 1965, 1966 models, incredible. The convertibles as well. Of course, you get into this is like the 70s here. True muscle car. And of course, they tried to bring it back, in 2004 to 2006. Pontiac, GM was having issues at the time. Pontiac was having a lot of rebadged cars. They were going to bring back the GTO name, and they did it with a Holden from Australia. We've got a silver one here. I tell you, it still was a really good car. I mean, it had a V8. It was 360 horsepower. It handled well. It was fun to drive. It was exciting to drive, but it was Australian, right? It just didn't capture the craze, the feeling, the emotion, the heritage that the original GTO did. So it had a little bit of a hard time. Now, in clue number 2, there was somebody, the chief designer, engineer of this car, went on to design his own car, and that was, of course, DeLorean. DeLorean was a chief engineer on the GTO, and the Twin Pines Mall, of course, that's Back to the Future, where the DeLorean left a trail of fire when it hit 88 miles per hour, right? So a little bit of trivia there for you. So Pontiac GTO. So let's go shopping real quick and see if we can find some of these for sale. We're going to jump over there to Hemmings. That's usually where you go to find some of your really good classic cars. Let's look here. Here's a 1966. This one is, of course, a convertible. This one, of course, 1966 Pontiac convertible. Good looking cars. This one only has 59,000 miles on it. Yeah, that is sweet right there, right? Look at that. That's kind of the classic car. That's kind of, it's not where it completely started, of course. It started a few years earlier than that, but that kind of kicked everything off. So I think that's a good looking car there. Let's keep looking and seeing what other ones we can find. Let's see, of course, this one right here, I actually used a picture of this one. This is the 1970 Pontiac GTO. This one says it has 14,516 miles. So this one is showroom quality, right? Good looking GTO there. Let's go ahead and look at the pictures of there. It's got the wing on the back. Yeah, check that out. That is a good looking GTO. Check out that interior. Yeah, these were powerful, fun, straight line cars, right? I mean, these were ready to go to the drag strip, tear it up. This one's got the Judge logo stickers on it. Good looking car there. Now let's look at how much do they want for this one. They wanted $72,900 for that, so that one's in great condition. Let's look here. This is the 2004 Pontiac GTO. Of course, this is the rebadged Holden. This one is, they want $21,250 for it. It only has 23,207 miles, so not driven very far. See if we can zoom in just a little bit and take a look at it. Yeah, look at that. Looks like this one has red leather interior. Hopefully we get to take a little bit better. Look at that wing on the back. I think these were sharp, good-looking cars, but maybe they just didn't have enough style to separate it out. There's the interior. Like I said, this is the V8, like 360 horsepower. That right there was a good-looking car. But, you know, it wasn't the classic GTO, at least not how we think about the GTO. All right, so were you able to name that car? How many points, how many clues did it take? How many points did you get? Be sure and leave that in the comments for me. We're going to have more of these episodes. They'll be released on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so be sure and look forward to that. Remember to like, comment, and share. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's go car shopping tomorrow.